Hello world, Patrick LaRouche here with Evolve Restorative Therapy, and today I want to talk to you about your true power source. A lot of people do not understand this concept. They don't know where their power truly comes from. So I want to give you an example that I give to all my clients to tell them how to get their body to heal dramatically faster by getting access to the true power source. And when I think about that, and the first thing I have to get them to realize is there's a difference between strength and power. The easiest way I teach people how to do that is think about a bodybuilder and a power lifter. A power lifter is a person that can push a bus easily and just go through. A bodybuilder looks like he can push a bus, but is going to struggle with that concept because they're training differently. And that's a completely different concept, a completely different thought process. But I want to make sure that you guys realize bodybuilder looks like he can push a bus, but power lifter can push a bus. So he's using a little bit of strength. The bodybuilder is using a little bit of strength and looks like he can project a lot more. Power lifter is using that littler frame, but to its more efficient capacity by using power. It's a big difference. So the way that I teach people how to do this and how to focus on it, let's say, is I give them this analogy. These are my speakers that I bought from Best Buy. This is, the analogy is, this is like your body. You could do anything that you want to your body to make it work better. But until you realize what's the components of it, you're never going to truly master it. So with this speaker, it has its own battery pack. It has its own internal source of power. We're going to use this as simulating our own body. This is my tablet. This is your internal structure of your body. This is where most of my power comes from, but we don't realize that. We're on Pandora, and we're going to be listening to Song from Mama by Boyz II Men. It's a good song. So what people don't realize is we use about, let's say, a third of our brain capacity. And that's going to be a key component to this. Because once we start ratcheting up our brain capacity, that's when we're going to be doing all the stuff the movie says, like flying, being telepathic. All these different things will come true once we start using more of our brain. But for now, we use 25% of our brain. So I'm going to set this to a level of 25%. See how we can only see, 25% of the media volume up. That's how much power this is putting out. So I'm going to press play for Big Mama. So you can barely hear it. What I'm going to do now is we're going to have to live life. So we're going to have to put up the energy inside of our body. Still not going. Bingo. So now we're at so high and we're just able to hear it. We're going through life and we're able to go through life and do everything. But it's something that we have to focus on. We have to really try hard. So now our body does something naturally. External power plug. This is called fight or flight. And it becomes louder. All the way up, and it still becomes louder. So what we want to start watching for is how often are we just running off of stress, off our fight or flight response. So that's what's going to be a key component. Okay, now, we just saw that we are on fight or flight, which I just plugged in our radio. We're on fight or flight, and we're going through life. Until we realize that we need to access our true power source, we're never going to truly do anything proper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch songs here. We're going to go to a little bit more upbeat song just because I want this to be dramatic. But it's as simple as this. If I get us to start turning up our power source internally, our body's going to be able to do so much more with less power being driven through the body. So we're going to go to Method Man, an old school favorite of mine, All I Need. There. So now we're on fight or flight, the same volume as it were before. But now we're going to start to turn up our volume.
Shorty, your man, boy,
our speakers went ginormous. It went loud where I can barely talk. I couldn't even tell you what was going on. So now I'm just going to have to lower the volume here. And by doing that,
anytime you need me, for real, girl, it's me in your world.
We can actually use less power out of our body, and it's still functioning properly. And it's doing things at a better, efficient rate. That's the difference between strength and power. By turning up some of our power in our internal power point, we can turn up the volume here. Lower the amount of energy that we can go through with our physical body. Alright, so what does that mean? I had this hamstring case. No matter what, the body is going to have to heal that hamstring site. She's a triathlete, so she's going to be going through all these activities regardless because she refuses to stop. So I was teaching her about if you want this to heal and still doing stuff, you're going to have to take it down a notch on the training aspect, but you can still go through healing if you focus on the true power source. Because what's going to happen is, as you start to heal better, you're going to be using less physical energy and more power to get that to heal. So you're going to be able to physically get your hamstring to work at a slower, easier pace because you're not using that hamstring at its greatest capacity. And that's what we kind of want. We want to start using more of our power source so our body can actually start living in peace.